What is going on, everyone? This is Worldwide Rail Productions here with another slideshow where I will be saying my concluding thoughts about this massive East Coast swing that I just came back home from about a couple weeks ago. Actually, more like a few weeks ago, but anyway, I'm going to be saying my concluding thoughts about this trip on here like I do with every slideshow that I do from each vacation. For those that are new here, for each vacation that I take, I always do a slideshow after I finish uploading every single video from the trip to say my concluding thoughts from each trip. So here we go with my concluding thoughts about this vacation. And oh my goodness, this one was one for the record books. I'm not going to lie. This is definitely one for the record books. Or not for the record books, but it's just for the memory books. We'll call it the memory books. This was one for the books. Because this adventure was so much fun, I'm not going to lie. I've caught so many trains I've never seen before, like the Acela Northeast Regional, Mark, Virginia Railway Express. And I even got to see, you'll notice it in the next picture, the Amtrak Auto Train for the first time ever. And that one has been on my bucket list for years. And this was a bucket list location that I've been wanting to visit for years. This is the Rockefeller Bridge out in Marysville, Pennsylvania, in the outskirts of Harrisburg. And you'll notice, and you'll know in the next photo after this one from the Rockefeller Bridge, that this was the train that really made the trip worthwhile. That's right, guys. I went out to Strasburg Railroad Museum to see, and I even took a ride on a round trip on the Norfolk and Western 611, the J-class locomotive. And this was running around on the Strasburg Railroad Museum between Strasburg and Paradise, Pennsylvania. I'm so glad I finally got the chance to see and even take a ride on this amazing looking steam locomotive. This was also a bucket list train that I've been wanting to see for many years. And not to mention, I also got to visit some new locations like Hershey, Duncannon, and a handful of others, but we'll get to those in a little bit. I mean, it was also cool that I got to Railfan Norfolk Southern for the first time since 2018, considering that Norfolk Southern is my favorite Class 1 railroad out there. And this trip was also the best vacation that I've had, probably of all time, because of the number of heritage units that I have caught on this trip, like this one right here, NS 8099, the Southern unit. And I also managed to catch a couple of the special interest units too, like this one right here, NS 1801. And I also caught the NS 4004, which you'll see a couple photos of in just a minute. Yeah, new locations on this part of the Pittsburgh line were Kearney Crossing, Lilly, and I also went to Brickyard for the first time ever. And there's my photos of the 4004. And then I also went to Tyrone, which you'll see the photos from Brickyard in just a moment, and Tyrone in a little bit. But yeah, guys, just looking at all these photos just really makes me glad that I took this trip when I did, because I got so many good trains, like literally so many good trains. It was just so hard to count how many good trains I've caught. And not to mention all the trains I've never seen before that I've been wanting to see for years. I'm glad I finally got to do that too. Just looking through all these photos, it's nice to just reflect on this whole trip. And also got to revisit some locations like Crescent, and I got to revisit the Juniata diesel shops. And I got to get a much closer up photo of NS 1801, which was nice. And here are the photos from Tyrone, which made for some really good photo opportunities. And I mean some really good photo opportunities, as you guys can see. And after my time in Pennsylvania, we made the drive west to Ohio. So it's like basically I did DC, stopped over in Philadelphia on the way to Harrisburg to do some fire buffing. Then I went into Harrisburg, railfanned around the Harrisburg area, did an overnight in New York City. There's NS 8104, by the way, the other heritage unit I caught on this trip. Family and I went to New York City. I did some fire buffing while the family did other things. I didn't really catch much in Philadelphia and New York City, but it was still better than catching nothing at all. You know what I mean? All right, so now we are in the Ohio segment of this trip, wherein I visited another new location that I've been wanting to visit for years, and that is no other than Fostoria, Ohio, at the rail park, in the general area of the rail park and the Diamonds. I caught a couple of good trains over there, like this NS local with a high hood SD40E on the point, running long hood forward, which was nice. My first time seeing one of those running long hood forward. I caught some CN power on a CSX. I want to say it was a loaded Coke train. I didn't really see if it was loaded or empty. I wasn't really paying attention. And then I caught this CSX or Canadian Pacific trackage ride train with this Expatriate Rail GP38 trailing. And to top it off, I went out to see the Nickel Plate Road 765, which really made the trip the best it has ever been, and the best one that I have ever taken. It was such a fun vacation. Well, guys, I'm going to go ahead and end it right here. I have said all my concluding thoughts. This one has been absolutely incredible. I hope you guys enjoyed the East Coast Railfan Swing series. And with that, I'm going to go ahead and bring you back to regular videos from around Northern California. Until then, I'll go on ahead and catch you guys in the next one.